We all love playing with Star Wars figures. Well, that's not when they broke time you got them. Let's take a look at 10 notorious items from the Star Wars Vintage Collection that break on contact. Welcome back to the Junkman, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with another video. Yes, it's that time for another video. So today we're going to look at 10 toys from the Vintage Star Wars collection that broke really easy, or maybe not broke, but just got messed up. Now, a lot of these were something you had to play with over time, but it was notorious for breaking off. Some of them seemed like they broke time you got out of the box. Some of them broke so bad, Kenner even gave you a tool to fix it yourself. They didn't want you calling up and complaining. They were getting too many calls. So let's go through this list. It's not any order, with the 10 being the most and 1 being nothing like that. We're just going to have fun. And I'm going to throw one in there that's not Star Wars related. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can guarantee that. Let's start with one I'm sure you know is going to be on this list. EV-99's arms. Now, I never had this as a kid. I didn't get into the Power of the Force until the 90s when I started collecting. And I didn't have eBay back then, so it was hard to find one with arms. In fact, the one I got has arms glued on, but I don't care as long as I got the figure. But I don't know what it is about the joints in these arms. They're so thin. If you play with this and move the arms up and down more than 3 times, probably the arms are going to break off. Now, I've seen some people say, oh, it was just the left arm, or it was just the right arm. But no, this was every arm. Both of them would break off pretty darn easy. Really thin piece of plastic inside for the arms, I guess. And the more you twist it, the easier it was for it to break off. You'll see on eBay, anybody selling, they'll say, with both arms, or they'll let you know, arms missing, or good arms, because and we want to get into the figures that lose their tightness really, really fast. I mean, all would play, they're going to lose their tightness. Don't you hate when things lose their tightness? But they fall over time you stand them up. But let's talk about another one. And this item, I just got a Sandcrawler. Thank you, Nelson, for sending me a Sandcrawler. That's awesome. I can't believe it. But like the one he sent me, and most of them, the door broke off. And it's not really that the door itself is bad. It's the little hinges are really thin. And it stays on pretty good. But the more you play with it, the more you open that door. Open, close, open, close, open, close. It doesn't take long to wear them hinges off. And it's going to break and not stay together anymore. But it is a Sandcrawler, so it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a cool toy. And it's RC toy, and Kenner had a lot of problems with their RC toys. That's why you only see Kenner doing the RC Star Wars toys early days of Star Wars. By the time Empire came out, they were gone. They were out of the RC business. And we'll have another RC we'll talk about in a second. And here's one that's more of a paint job issue. Death Star Droid. I don't know why it's so hard to find. It seems like, I don't even remember this figure having black on his shoulder when I was a kid, because they must have rubbed off time you got this thing. You must have played with it and had black paint on your hands. I don't know what they used to do this. And it's notorious to find this on eBay and second-hand sellers, especially in the 90s when you bought them out of Toy Shop magazine and stuff, where it would take a Sharpie and color it in. Now, it looks pretty good if you do it with a Sharpie, but it's so easy with a Sharpie to get out of the line just right. It's going to show. So be careful when you buy one. I see a lot of these for sale with good black paint job, but most of them to me look like it's probably a Sharpie because it looks too good. Unless you get lucky and find one that's real. You got to get one that hasn't been touched. You got to find one if it's loose. The kid took out the package with gloves on, placed it in his sock drawer, and never touched it again. Whew, it was rough. It was rough. Now let's talk about one of the ships. XWing. I loved the XWing as a kid. You would push down R2-D2 and the wings would pop up. They would lock in asphalt position. That's what I thought they said as a kid. XWing, lock your wings in asphalt position. I was like, what is an asphalt position? I knew asphalt was something they made on the road. I couldn't figure it out. But the wings would pop open and stay open. Well, it would last. It wouldn't be something that would break time you get it, but it would break pretty fast. Where it would start where you just had to push it and R2 pop back up. Or it wouldn't stay down, and you have to mess with it up and down, and then finally it would stay, and the wings would stay popped. It was kind of cool, but I wish R2 came out of it. I wish they could put your R2 in the X-Wing, but I know they needed the button to put the wings up, I guess. But they would have sold a lot more R2s, but they were selling a lot of R2s already, so I guess it really didn't matter. And speaking of vehicles, what about the shuttle Tidarian? What? You don't have a shuttle Tidarian? Well, we're less than 1,000 away to giving away one. When we hit 30,000 subs, we're giving away a free Imperial Vintage shuttle. That's right, I love this shuttle. Last year, when we hit 20,000, we gave away a loose Death Star. This year, well, not a real Death Star, playset Death Star, come on. This year, we're giving away an Imperial shuttle, thanks to the guys over at Entertainment Earth who's going to help me with that. We're giving away some more prizes, also shirts and stuff like junkmanmerch.com. Got shirts right there. So you can even get this Ozzie Nelson shirt. No, that's not Marty Robbins. It's the original Ozzie Nelson. Anyway, what was I talking? Oh, the wings on this shuttle. You put a trigger at the bottom and they would come down like this and fall down. You know how it works, but they're notorious for breaking pretty easy, getting out of alignment. Where they wouldn't, most like mine, it doesn't fold up all the way. Where they're supposed to touch the top of the wing like this, but they end up like this, or one's like this. It's hard to get it back right. Once the track gets off, you're going to have to take that thing apart and know what you're doing. I took mine apart and I didn't know what I was doing, and I made it worse. Watch some videos on it, Junkman. They'll tell you how to fix it. I did that, and I made it worse. I'm not the type of guy that fixes stuff. No, I'm not. Let's talk about the Land of the Jawa elevator. Land of the Jawa was, for anyone that couldn't get the RC Sandcrawler, it was a base, and it had a cardboard backdrop that had a working elevator on it. You could place the droid on it, whatever droid you wanted, or Jawa. Pull it up. But the problem was this thing was made out of cardboard. So you had a piece of cardboard and a slit in the middle with plastic on each side of the elevator hooked to it that you could lift up. You know it's going to break. It's cardboard. This thing was so flimsy. It didn't take long to put a figure. It would never move up smoothly. It broke so fast. The cardboard ripped or something. It's usually the cardboard. The plastic stayed together. But, you know, you rubbing plastic on the side of a cardboard up and down like this, you're either going to start a fire or you're just going to break the thing. And chances are you broke the thing. Now, before we get on with this list, I'm going to tell you about something else. You like Star Wars, right? Or you like cool movies from the 80s? Check this out. Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? It doesn't look like it, but trust me. This is The Empire Strikes Back. Look at this. This is The Empire Strikes Back. And movie palettes have a whole bunch of these. It's like every scene from Empire Strikes Back. And you can kind of go, you're like, oh, I bet that's Cloud City. Oh, Dagobah. Oh, Hoth. And it's not just Empire. They got almost any movie you can think of back there. That is very cool. Check out what all they have there. The movie palettes consist of stripes of colors carefully chosen by the team's artist. Each stripe represents a color on that scene in the movie. And yeah, they're in order before you ask. I mean, they got all kinds. They got The Big Lebowski. They've got Beauty and the Beast, Avatar, Halloween from 1978, Fight Club, not to mention Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, even the Indiana Jones movie. Hell, they even got Forrest Gump. Yeah, I said it, Forrest Gump. Can you believe it? And they have Gone with the Wind. They even go way back. See, Leo and Stitch for the kids' room. They got Scream. They got Rogue One, not just the main Star Wars movie. They even have Love Actually. Yeah, Love Actually and Good Will Hunting. Man, if they had Beautiful Girls, one of my favorite movies, I would buy it in a second. But I got Empire because it's one of my favorite movies also, and it looks awesome. It's going to look really good on the wall. Movie palettes, isn't that awesome? I think it's awesome. Look at this. Ooh, this is going downstairs in the living room. That's how much I like this thing. And look at that. It's sturdy too. It's not going to fall and break apart. They ship it fast. They shipped me this during Christmas time and I got it fast. Couldn't believe it. Always good when you can get good shipping. And you want to save some money buying one? 15% off. All you have to do is go to the website. I'll put a link in the description below. Go to the website and use the code Junkman15. You get 15% off. Again, link will be in the description below. So let's get back to talking about these toys that break really easy. The Falcon legs, the back of the Falcon. Who has a Falcon? You stand it up and it wobbles like this. Those legs retract into the Falcon. You pull them out. Never really did that. I mean, they were good, but the pegs, it would be like a peg like this that would hook onto the plastic and keep it in place. But over time, that plastic would shift up a little bit and those legs would go up and down. Now, they're easy to fix. People's always like, oh, watch a video on how to fix it. I've done that. I can't fix it. I'm not talented enough. I have a sock stuck in mine over there. You can't tell, but I got, well, you stick something in it if you don't want the leg to close and it'll stay closed. But it's notorious, again, something else that's notorious, of breaking after playing with it a lot. Now, let's get back talking about the RC stuff. And this is one that, rumor is, it's the reason Kenner stopped using the LP logo. What was the LP logo? Long play. This is where Kenner would guarantee a toy. Now, this toy never had the LP logo, but it was rumored that they took it off. They said, this thing breaks so much, we know we're going to get a lot of calls to replace it, so let's not do it. And we're talking about the Sonic remote control land speeder. Most people don't even remember this. It was like the land speeder for the figures and everything, but it was RC. Had a little R2 remote control. I like the R2 button. This thing was so notorious for breaking. Kenner gave you a little tool and instructions on how to fix it yourself, with a note that said, to the parents. They didn't want your little 7-year-old hands trying to fix this thing. You were going to make it worse, but parents could try to fix it. Now, in Kenner's defense, a lot of these toys, Kenner was famous for really helping out people. I've talked to a lot of people, and I know from Kenner that if you got something broke or missing a part, you would call Kenner up and they would send you the part you're missing, sometimes more than you're missing. I've heard from countless people that said they got the Death Star and it was missing parts. Their parents called up to Kenner. Kenner sent them a whole new Death Star. Didn't even ask for the other one back. Kenner was really well known for taking care of their customers. You think you're going to call Hasbro today and get them to replace your broke Star Wars toy? You're not even going to get a person. You're not even going to be able to talk to anybody at Hasbro. Let's continue this list. And we're going to talk about the Death Star gun. The Death Star. Oh, the gun, cannon that sits on top of it, spring action. You hit a button and it pops off. Well, that spring and that mechanism inside, mine's broke. I know, I watched a video on how to fix it, but I couldn't fix it. I'm not talented enough. But it would never lock down in place. If I remember, it's a little hinge like this. So you push it down and it goes down like this and it locks into the hinge. And then when you push the button, the hinge moves like this and pops the gun off. But you'll see most of them on eBay for sale has the gun down or really far up, not straight, because it's broke. That's a good way to tell it's broke if they don't say it's broke. If it's pointing down or pointing up, chances are it's broke. Not always. I mean, it don't have to be, but I would ask questions if I saw it pointing down or pointing up. And before we do number one, let's do one that's not Star Wars. And I think you're going to know this one. Indiana Jones from the Kenner collection. Do I need to say more? This figure is notorious for having a broke thumb. Sometimes I see a whole broke hand, but the thumb, I don't know what the thumbs broke off so many on these. You can Google it right now and find so many of these with the broke thumb. I wonder when Hasbro does their Indiana Jones retro figures, they're gonna straighten that thumb. I don't know why that thumb was so bad. I have one back here, but its thumb's broke off, so I can't look to see how thin it is. It must be a really thin thumb, I tell you that. Now, the last one there. It's one of the worst figures Kenner made. Imperial Dignitary. You know what I'm talking about. For some reason, the paint comes off the tip of his nose. He looks like a teenager having a pimple on his nose going to the prom. I bet the Emperor didn't like to see that. Oh, here comes Mr. Imperial Dignitary again with the bump on his nose. These are hard to find with good paint job on the nose. I don't know why. It's just the nose. None of the other figures in line have a problem with just the paint on their nose. It's weird. Now, blue snaggletooth, silver on the boots wears off. I can see that. Death Star Droid, we talked about it. But nose, just right there. The rest of the paint on the face is good. Just the tip of the nose. I don't know. But that's a look at least 10 things that break pretty easy on the old Star Wars toys. Maybe I missed some. If it is, let me know in the comments below what you had trouble with. That's probably some of the most I hear the most about. Well, I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. Don't forget, if you want to have your movie art on the wall and look cool, 15% off. Junkman 15 is the code to use over at their website. Link in the description below. And you buy something from them, it helps me out, helps the channel out. I don't get a cut of the money, just helps the channel out. But I guess that's it. We will be back again. 2 videos, Monday through Friday, noon and 8. I don't got nothing else to say. Talk to you later. Night.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.